I wanted to cover some of the default functionality within Looker Studio available across the various reports that we offer. So I will start from the top. First one being underneath this share button, drop down here, you can schedule delivery of reports. This allows you to email on a scheduled basis the report to various stakeholders, users, colleagues. You can customize who it gets sent to, on what day, at what time, and how frequently. And which can be quite useful if there's any specific filters, as in date range, that you want applied to report when it gets sent. So there's that. You can also download the report as it looks now as a PDF if you want to share it around with the team for whatever reason. And then going into the actual charts on the various reports, you'll see that most of these reports have a pretty similar layout. So the functionality is pretty standardized across them. Filters generally apply for all of the charts and tables below where the filter component sits. So for example, if I'm filtering here, this filter is going to be applied to all of the charts down below, but it won't apply to these components above it. Other things that are somewhat hidden is on these charts, as well as some of the tables, you'll see these arrows here, and this gives you the ability to drill up and down. So typically that's either by date range or it's by a certain segment or dimension. So if something's daily, I can drill up to a weekly view. I can also drill up to a monthly view. And that's worth bearing in mind. It's still going to reflect the date range that I filtered here. So this is split into March and April, but it's only looking at the end date of April the 26th, not the entirety of April. So when you're drilling up and down, it still respects the date filters there. Same thing for dimensions, like I mentioned. So typically the way that we build these is as you go up the dimensions, you're looking at a broader and broader window of the data. So hence going from channel up to a channel group, up to a country level, conversely going down from a channel to a campaign view, platform view, and then a specific campaign view. So just think about sort of the context of the data you're looking at and how you're slicing and segmenting that data, as whether you're going up levels or down levels. The other aspect, again, that's pretty hidden in Looker Studio is on some of our line charts, graphs, bar charts, you'll see this icon here called optional metrics. This gives you the ability to swap out the specific metric that's displaying on the report. So total orders, I can swap this out to whatever I want. Same for this proportional one. If there's a specific metric that you see available on the same report, but it's not in one of these tables or a different graph, but you don't see it in the optional metrics here, just let us know. Really easy to add that in. We don't add in everything by default because it can be quite messy. We can end up with a lot of things to toggle through here, but if it's something specific you want, let us know. Super easy to add that in. The next thing I wanted to look at is the ability to export data. All of the charts and graphs that you see have export functionality. You just need to click on this more, export data. You'll have the ability to put it into a Google Sheet or a CSV. We can also give you a module at the bottom of all these reports that lets you export the raw data for that specific table within your data warehouse down to the most granular level. That's really valuable if you want to do your own data analysis and you just want to get a load of data into a spreadsheet, pivot it out, look at different things. We can offer that to you. Just let us know. And then lastly, it's worth bearing in mind, it can get slightly disorientating if you end up applying lots of filters to these various charts. Sometimes you forget sort of what you're looking at. So an easy way to see is just clicking on if there's any specific table you want to know, has it got filters applied, has it not? You can click on this and it will tell you everything that's being applied to that. Same thing you can do is going up here and clicking view applied filters, and it will tell you all of the filters that are currently active for that specific view that you're looking at. And the easiest way to reset something is just clicking this big reset button up here. The other function with filtering is the ability to cross filter. So on any chart, on some of these charts, mostly on the tables, you can click on a specific dimension here and it will filter all of the other things. So it's quite useful for analysis as well. And if you want to reset that, you just press the reset button on the chart where you click the filter. So that's kind of the standard, some of it's some hidden functionality of Looker Studio. If there's any questions, feel free to ask us. Feel free to check out the Help Center documentation. And yeah, we're always happy to help point you in the right direction.